I record. And then I go to share sound and I real quick do this so that we don't have dead air.
Thank you. I hate
Then
dead air.
Then I hit the jarring.
Bring me everyone. What do you mean everyone?
Welcome to Everyone Racers.
It's a show designed for the world of low-dollar racing and oddball car culture.
It doesn't matter what kind of limit chance
or lucky track dog league you run.
SCCA or NASA, we won't discriminate.
as long as you drive it hard and built it yourself.
Join us each week for tech discussions,
Tips, tricks, as well as news and notes from the world of amateur endurance racing.
And whether it's on the spot,
hella sweet,
Or we're lucky enough,
and Chrissy,
and Chrissy,
I give you just the tip.
we're sure you'll giggle a little.
and learn even less.
Everyone report to the paddock.
This is Chris.
This is Chrissy.
And I'm mental.
And we're Everyone Racers. Welcome to a Ferrari 333 SP episode. It's 333 time. The Ferrari 333 SP is a sports prototype race car designed by Ferrari and was built by Dallara and later Macellato to compete in the World Sports Car Championship for Ferrari. Unveiled at the end of 1993 at the behest of amateur racer Giampanato Moretti, owner of Momo Auto Parts Racing business. I didn't know that. The 333 SP marked Ferrari's official return to sports car racing after a 20-year absence. The car was built to compete at IMSA's new WSC class, which replaced the previous GTP cars. So if you aren't driving your 90s Le Mans prototype, get out your bingo card or something. Or don't, because we don't have a bingo card that's updated yet. But we talk about it every week. So
There's still enough good stuff on there. It's close enough.
you might be able, hey, if you get bingo now, you would be awesome. Because there's a lot of old stuff on there that doesn't apply. But that's okay. Chris, you're back in my seat.
I know.
You're back in your
Yep.
seat that I stole last week. So
Do you have to work your ass groove back into it? It's all like messed
Don't
up
let's-
now.
do we want to talk about chairs today? His
It was
chair
a
broke
different chair that she was sitting in. My chair was broken temporarily, but I fixed it. All it took was a flashlight and a screwdriver. All better.
and a
which is good,
squirrel
'cause this
and a
is-
paper clip.
Yes, sure,
Just kidding.
something like
Just
that.
kidding. Fine.
Great.
Oh, great.
So I guess aside from working on my chair, which I did today, I'm back from the Cape where I was last week. I've worked on the Civic a bit this week. Got the fire system done. Got the hatch and latch release all done and relocated. Got the radio harness in progress. Civic's coming along nicely.
Woo. Great.
Yep.
Mental.
Great.
What are you doing?
Are you off camera on purpose, Chris?
Yep.
I'm trying not to gig blast. Thanks.
Fair enough. All right, cool.
He's hiding.
He's hiding. That was it.
Incognito.
Vicky and I went to San Diego this weekend. The Jolla Independent BMW had their annual crawfish boil. Little late to celebrate the Mardi Gras, but it was great. They always hire a brass band, and they cooked 100 pounds of crawfish and
You went to
tri-tip, and
San Diego for the weekend. How far is that?
it's about 4 hours. And
Oh.
really, we just went for like a day. So
Okay. Overnight.
yes. And La Jolla Independent BMW, that's the guys that I've been running. I've run Thunderhill with them a few times. We run a Spec E46 and some of the NASA Enduros out here, and they've been trying to get it. And I managed to talk Vicky into it. So, a man, his wife, and 2 very small dogs in a Miata all the way to San
Oh
So
my
we-
gosh. How did that go?
Diego. Really well. Cheech is a weenie dog, and he's like, "This is wonderful. You have to have a lap, and I have to sleep in it." So
Yes.
that's what he did. And Moko was fine. Then he would get bored, and
There's not a lot of space to get bored.
no, but he's a rat, so that's what he does.
Okay.
But so out there, I had a great time, and then do downtown La Jolla, right there along the thing. The band kind of led everyone through the little square. It was great towards the end of the party. Just good time seeing all those guys. We didn't get to do much racing last year, so I didn't get to hang out with them as much as I normally do. And Vicky finally got to meet some of the West Coast racing lunatics besides just Mark and Carl. If you're on the West Coast near San Diego and you've got a BMW, need it repaired, highly recommend Jolla Independent. They are, yeah, they're just great people. We actually cleaned out our last storage unit. So we are, exception of car and RV, storage free. So
What?
yes,
Wow.
yes, we are
I
purging.
almost don't believe it. Wow.
So we are now going through the boxes that were in our last storage unit. They're sitting in the back of the RV, and we'll just pour through them as we get ready.
So you
And,
just dumped everything from the garage units, and now they're what, in your house and garage and yard and boxes of.
as
Oh,
we've
it's
been
raining,
clean,
so
as we've been
not-
cleaning out the storage units, we just been going through them. Like our Halloween unit, we just got rid of all that stuff. One of the old car units was, okay, need it, don't need it. And this one, a lot of it in this one is books, and we're waiting for some of the construction to get done so I can have my books up. But yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing the next couple of weeks, is
Wow,
just go through boxes,
congratulations.
donation, just freeing ourselves of possessions.
That's wonderful. Congratulations.
Absolutely.
That's a big job. It really
Yeah.
is. That's great.
Did some project juggling. I know I had the Honda in there, and now that we've got the Honda off to a good start, I needed to move the 914 into my garage, because the next big deal is the 914 has to be ready to go to LA in April for Luftgult, which a Porsche air cooled. Well, actually, it's air and water this year round, but so I'm getting it ready, ideally to drive out there, and it's going to be featured in the show. And I need to get it roadworthy enough to do a
No-
couple of the drives that go with it.
No pressure at all on that one. No,
Yeah, exactly.
you got to get it there. You're drive it there. You're going to RV it there.
I'm
you
going to
tow
drive
it?
it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Great. Good luck.
no.
Is that-
Most
well-
likely I'm broke down on the side of the road on the way to
Yeah.
California, missed the entire show. That feels more like a mental kind of a, how it's going to
I
work
mean,
out.
I know, and that's why I'm saying that you should probably come up if you're back up. So what I'm suggesting is not necessarily a bad thing. If you're going to a car show and you're going to be featured in said car show, it might be okay for that opportunity to tow your vehicle there. But you do you. You do
Well,
mental things.
It's a
Right,
better
it-
story.
I
if
mean,
he is on the
sure.
side of the road and having to fix it with various assorted bits he
Yeah.
finds there.
Well, and part of
Sticks.
this is, there's the day prior, everyone drives up Angel's Crest and to Newcomb's Ranch, and then there's the Professor Run and all that kind of stuff. And I want to be able to take the car on that one. So
I
it's
don't want to
just
miss things.
really about, yeah. Well,
I have FOMO.
I don't, it's not so much FOMO. I would
I'm
actually
kidding.
rather drive
kidding.
it than show it. It's kind of the point of the car.
Right.
I'm just
right.
using it as an excuse to light a fire into my ass and get it running and get it
It's great.
roadworthy-ish. So,
great fire.
So yeah, so project juggling on that one. And then, what has happened at my job, we have any number of just, old vacuum cleaners that people come in there, they use our rooms, and we make them clean them out, that kind of stuff. And it has gotten to the point where they have all broken. So there are 6 broken vacuums in my office. And I
Floors are dirty now too.
yeah, exactly.
Oh.
The guy that used to do it, he's actually got now a medical condition, and he's been told point blank, do not be near a vacuum cleaner when it is open, because you can't get any of that dust into your lungs. So I
okay.
can. I inhale all kinds of dumb crap. So I literally disassembled a Bissell Dyson knockoff vacuum cleaner, scrubbed everything. And I understand completely why his doctor said, don't get near this stuff. My hands were blacker than any time I have ever worked on a car after
What are you
cleaning out a
sucking
vacuum
up?
cleaner.
Is the question.
By the time you get through enough of those filters, the particulate is so very, 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 very tiny. And then it just starts caking. It's vacuum
Wow.
cleaners are filthy, filthy things. One of the belts had slipped off, it had gotten jammed up, and then this one had an automatic cord retraction. The spring wasn't working. So I had a really good lemony repair to make that one work. Uses the keychain that I got from a car show.
Is this
So-
like in addition to your work? Like you staying late to do this, or you're just like, yeah, it's 2:00 in the afternoon. I'm just gonna fix this vacuum. I mean, I just know that you're a busy person. I don't care. I don't care either way. I'm just thinking. I'm trying to figure out at what level of this is your job.
Everyone that's worked in an office knows that you get the spectrum of, people that can literally work in absolute squalor versus people that want their office to be, emergency room clean. And me and it's a like-minded guys, we got about the same level of tolerance. And then usually during one of our big events, I'm vacuuming twice a week because we bring food in and it's just messy. And I'm
Don't you
always
have a
taking out the
cleaning
trash.
crew? guy person?
We have a guy, but our office is outside the scope of his duties.
What is
So-
our tax? What
Special.
are our tax dollars going to then? Come on.
Cleaning the,
Rest the
fixed
lobby.
bathrooms and the
Oh,
hallways and all the other kind of stuff on there. So, so it felt really good because I got to take it in today and finally vacuum the floors. Floors not been vacuumed for like 2 weeks, and like I could just feel the tension leaving my body as the floors were finally clean at work on that one. So I brought another one home. We're going to see how well that goes. So I'm fixing vacuums for my job. Yeah, that's
We-
it. It's a side project, but some good lemony experience on that as I have no real understanding of how vacuum cleaners work, much less how to repair them. So it was great.
They sure do suck.
should've- we just
Be here
bought
all
a
week.
Makita backpack vacuum at work.
Ooh,
Mm,
very nice.
pretty awesome.
Mm.
Yes, because I now handle maintenance and facilities part of my job also means custodian. So now I have custodian. And
Like you have to be the custodian, or you have to oversee.
if he decides to not show up tomorrow, I have to be the custodian. Yes, that's what's happening.
I feel
Mhm.
like half the people that have probably like spent the last year working with you are all like, please don't show up, custodian. Please don't show up. Because if
Oh,
you
no.
clean it.
No, my custodian is amazing. He's
Oh, okay, good. All right.
amazing. He is so passionate. He's one of, I'm sorry, this is a tangent. He's so passionate. It's amazing.
You haven't lived with Chrissy to know that the custodian is probably going to do a better job.
Oh, he is. And he's
Yes.
like, oh, no. He's like, no, we need to get some new stuff. This stuff doesn't work. He's like, this doesn't take the fingerprints off well enough. Let's get this stuff. I said, you tell me what to buy. I'll buy it for you. He's great. Amazing.
Right. Right now, everyone who watches TV, which means not you two, is reciting the entire bit from Family Guy with the cleaning lady. No, we need Windex. Get the store brand. I don't care about streaks. No,
Yeah, that's
no.
that's what I got. I have that. His name is Jose. Yes, I have that. He says I need different stuff. I said, you tell me, send me a link. He's like, Amazon cart. Dink, dink, dink. I need 5 of these, 10 of these. These. Nope, this one doesn't work. Okay, so okay, fine. Okay. Anyway, and I haven't been doing much. So let's move on. It's time. Okay, short layovers suck, but having to run through airport full of people sucks even more. Jerry Perez at The Drive tells us that Delta out of LAX is employing a Porsche GT3 RS to shuttle passengers with tight connections from one plane to another, helping them avoid the chaos of crowded terminals and hopefully getting them to their destinations on time. This school program is the result of Delta's longtime partnership with Porsche, and it's certainly not the first time the two have teamed up to put some cool sheet metal on the tarmac. Of course, it is safe to say that the Porsche is of choice is mostly for marketing purposes. A GT3 RS transfer isn't shuttling anyone around the airport runway faster than a Cayenne, but mostly due to safety because all the stuff is highly regulated. But surely it will capture some more eyeballs. People are much more likely to take a snap and share a photo of a spicy red Porsche on a runway rather than another blue SUV. Link in our notes.
Yes.
Only one person at a time, and they can only have a carry-on bag that's small. That's it.
I didn't even think about that.
But
True.
what a story to tell.
Right?
I remember in my youth, they used Cadillacs. So this is way cooler.
So much cooler.
Right. Jonathan Ramsey at Autoblog brings us a story of the end of the line for the insane Alfa Romeo gas-powered Quadrifoglio models. Larry Dominique, Alfa Romeo Senior Vice President and Head of North America, used a LinkedIn post to set the countdown clock on the brand's Quadrifoglio models here. He wrote, the opportunity to order a 2024 Giulia Quadrifoglio or Stelvia Quadrifoglio will close to North America at the end of April 2024. The last internal combustion only powered Quadrifoglio models for the US and Canada will exit the Casino plant in June 2024. That gives shoppers about 10 weeks to place an order for the hottest versions of Alfa Romeo's sedan and midsize SUV, and until late summer to find a fresh example on a dealer lot. So this is just another step in the automaker's transfer to an all-electric lineup of the brand's launches from 2027, meant to be electric after that. This isn't the end of the Quadrifoglio, Dominique himself writing in his post. I look forward to presenting the next chapter in the four-leaf clover's journey. Successive iterations will get at least some sort of electrical assistance. And that's just what everyone wants is more electronics in Italian cars because they always work really, really well.
I'm sure adding
Yep.
reliability. That's exactly what they're doing.
Who's better at electronics, British or Italians? Fight.
I feel like this is all just part of the immersive Alfa Romeo ownership experience.
Breaking down and the computer just going, meh, meh,
and the
meh.
thing that you're in love with, we're getting rid of that.
Yes, the ridiculous engine. That's the best part of that whole car. Yeah.
I honestly, I think they did it just to make our friend Tom upset.
He has the one like reliable one of these ever. He's like, no, I can't believe it. It actually doesn't break. And that's when he owns it even. So who knows?
Well, it doesn't break. Didn't he have like an issue because he wasn't driving it enough? Which is a very Italian thing. You not to drive me, I break it down.
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
Oh, now, sure, there's a lemons race every year called the Colonel in the Sinkhole, but did you realize it has actually been a decade since a sinkhole swallowed 8 Corvettes in the Bowling Green Museum? Elizabeth Puckett now tells us about an exhibit to commemorate the event called, quote, Ground to Sky, the Sinkhole Reimagined. Mariah Hughes, the museum's PR manager, said, quote, we want to showcase how the museum has grown and expanded over the 10 years since the event and how we quite literally made lemonade out of lemons. Now, I'm sure that pun was unintentional, but for those listening to this podcast, well, the Cinco actually opened up under the Sky Dome on February 12th, 2014. It swallowed, like, of the 8 cars, the 1 millionth Corvette that was made in 92, along with the Blue Devil, which was an '09 ZR1. Now, those were fully restored and are part of the exhibit, along with the 62 Tuxedo Black version that was in there. And that one required 600 man hours to completely finish. The other 5, including the 1.5 millionth Corvette, as well as an '84 PPG race car, are among the rest that have been left as they were found in the sinkhole and will be on display.
It's a lot easier to just leave them and say, this is one that fell in the sinkhole, and rather than your 600 man hours to finish and refinish a car.
Well, we noticed at Pittsburgh VP, we saw that one Tuxedo Black. It's actually kind of a rare color from that time period. So I could see, yeah.
I'm really not surprised that of all the ones they didn't fix, it was the 84.
Yep.
Just leave it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Nobody cares. Just
nobody cares. And that's the good. Yeah, it's right. They pick the pretty ones to make them pretty again, and then the other ones that everybody's just like meh, and you're just like, oh look, that one fell in.
Yep.
It's got patina. Yeah.
All right. Did you know that Racing Junk has a section for everything racing, including race suits? What?
I did not actually know that, and I'm a Racing Junk junkie.
There are about 6 on the website when I looked last, just for some of the suit, or they have whole sets. If you scroll down, these are all a whole bunch of ads. It's a great place to look to pick one up if you have somebody who just wants to jump. Oh gosh.
Oh, here we go. Free advertisements.
Thank you. It's really not important. You should just close this.
There we go.
Thanks. If you have somebody that just wants to jump in as crew, or they're just getting started and I don't really know if they want to commit, I found them in the classified section, and then racing and safety equipment, and then suits is where I found them. And they have neck restraints as well. So it's just one of the many things you find on Racing Junk.
Oh, there you go. Yep. All right, cool.
All different sizes.
That is cool.
Upcoming races.
All right, Lemons is at Thunderhill. Now there are 98 cars. 15 of those are BMWs.
Boring, but that's not a terrible ratio.
Right?
It's not it. For California,
15%. That's not too bad. Okay.
Nope. 13 Miatas, 4 Hondas, 3 Porsches, a Rover 3500, an 84 Escort wagon, and an Alfa Berlina, which we've seen that one before.
Oh,
so yes. No, it should be a good one. I'm going to be out there. I'm going to be working with Ranger Road. And if it holds together, not to curse anything, I might be doing a coverage shift in the Failbird.
Oh. This
All
is
right.
fun.
If you remember our Sorry for Party pod, they were actually still working on that car when they were on the show not too long ago. And I am riding out there with a local guy, two local guys here, and Zach, who flies in Wednesday. So as you are listening to this, we are whipping our merry way from Las Vegas up to Willows, California. So three of the guys on that in that car, we're all riding out there together, are going to be driving the Van and Ball, which is also going to be out there.
Okay.
Yeah, two of them
That's
is going to be their
amazing.
first introduction to lemons in the van.
Oh, oh,
That's great. for
Okay.
them.
Are expectations set appropriately? That's the only thing that I care
Well,
about.
they've been talking
For
to
lots
Zach.
of awesome fun, then yes.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, as long as that's where their expectations are, then great. That's
I don't
good
feel
for
like
them.
Zach is overselling the van at all.
I
No.
agree.
He's like, yeah, my mom bought it. What? Sure, I've gone through a bunch of engines. What's your point? Yeah. Now, looking forward to having him, and he'll probably end up his schedule. He's not going to be able to crash, but here on the way, but on the way back, so I might knock off on Monday and probably give him the 50-cent welcome to Vegas tour.
Yay.
Yeah.
That
Up
sounds
your
great.
prices lately, huh? All right.
It's less than our favorite time. Okay, so in response to the post that was posted on E1R about Alonso being old and still racing, there's a lot of comments on here. Corey D says, "Shit, I turned 48 in 4 months." Speed You Cop said, "Damn, I'm 51. Sucks being too old to drive competitively." And Jerry R says, "Nobody tell Red Farmer and Ken Schrader that."
Now, Ron Vicker said the FAA approves of this message. DJ914 said, "Well, crap. I've passed my expiration date and I was just starting to make progress." Yes. And Andrew Steer said, "Mental said, I'm too old." Mental didn't say that because Mental's older than all of you. So, yes. Tim Burr, of course, said, "Hey, wait, I'm 50." And on the YouTube, he also said, oh, this was talking about our Cheesebolt Enterprises episode, which is fantastic. And you should also go to Haggerty. We will have a link. Sajeev has just yesterday penned an article about Ford's T-Drive and then also went back to the Cheesebolt Enterprises episode as well. So check that out. And Tim B said, quote, "These guys are like Mad Max mechanics. I just want to hang out in their shop and watch them create cool things." In parentheses, adding, "While I eat chips and drink beer." Super cool build, fellas. I totally agree. I had seen their Ford Boardroom Theater that we linked in our last episode. And for grins and giggles, I'm going to leave it in this one. There are so many, there are Marvel Universe level of Easter eggs in that Ford Boardroom video. Those guys, they're even funnier than we think they are. And if you watched it last week, go back and watch it again because there is just some great, great humor in that. Those guys really are just fantastic. And yeah, we have to have them on again because they just told the story of the T-Drive. They didn't even get all the way through the whole origin story of Cheesebolt Enterprises, which is great. All right. And I think we're still waiting on Chris.
We're like half here.
We're like, yeah, it's half
I don't know
here.
if Chris is going to make it.
So, well, at the same time, so Carlton got on and said the fact that the two engines are different
No,
gears.
he's not going to make it.
He said that the two engines are different gears is the ultimate stupid problems require stupid solutions. If you didn't see last week's episode, you should. And it's the Cheesebolt Enterprises T-Drive, where they took two motorcycle engines and bolted them through a unique T-Drive transmission that goes back to a Ford project. But I didn't realize this. The engines are at slightly different angles and they have to be in different gears to get the car to go forward. So never in my wildest dreams would I have imagined them to be in different gears. I'm with you, Carlton. So Greg did add some clarification on that. The folks we talked to with multi-engine experience, and that is tractor pulls, insisted we needed to have a lead engine and a slave engine to prevent them fighting each other to death. And this is typically done with throttle adjustment, but can theoretically be done with gearing adjustment. It is possible that even if we solve the chain length via versus visibility, they will still run best in different gears. The biggest concern with different gears is over revving the engine in the lower gear, but our carb exhaust issue ensured we were in no danger of over revs. Ha! but stupid is as stupid does.
Great.
Amazing.
Thanks for picking that up, Mental.
Yes.
You know who usually doesn't over rev her second engine?
Correct.
Or
Chrissy's
her
mom.
first
she's-
engine for that matter.
Right? She's still on her first engine, so I don't think she's over revving.
Yeah,
that
I've
either.
never changed an engine for Chrissy's mom. Let's keep it that way. That's
Oh, they have a new car, so I would like to think that we won't be doing that for some time.
no,
So there's that.
it's true.
But I imagine she bakes in different gears.
You need different temperatures. That's basically different gears, right?
So it's, yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Mom.
Oh,
All right. We're back here.
Main topic.
yes.
Let's
if,
go.
if you haven't, if you're watching on the tube, you'll notice that we're all decked out in our favorite F1 gear, which can only mean one thing.
Sorry, trying to show you my
What's
shirt. it's
Chrissy, you're yelling so loud, Zoom is cutting out your voice.
Oh,
I
damn
know,
it. It's
but
main
her
topic.
neighbors know that it's F1 time.
It's
the neighbor's dog.
Chris knows because he can hear me from downstairs.
Even with my noise canceling headphones on, I can still hear it.
Okay, it's F1 time. Yay! We have our F1 clothes on, F1 shirt. I have my F1 mug.
Which for the audio portion of our show says,
Thank
I
you.
love Leclerc and anyone who crashes into Max.
Yep.
Yep. That's about
Yep.
right. Good, so
Okay.
we're talking all about F1. We're talking about, first off, how did we do on our predictions last year? and our
I thought
thoughts?
this would be fun because
Right?
some of them I impressed myself.
Yep. We'll
And
see
some
how
of them
we
were
did.
so wrong.
Yeah.
So wrong.
Yeah,
And then
right.
we'll get into some other discussion topics for this year. So let's go.
Okay.
All right. Well, so yeah, let's wrap it up with our takes from last year.
Yes. So we had a couple of different categories, and we said top pick. I said there's no other options other than Max, and Ferrari will prove to be pretty darn good.
I believe that
We'll call it-
qualifies as literally on the head, nail on the head. Just
Yeah.
wham.
Done.
Yes.
I predicted that Mercedes would suck. And I'm going to say I was a little wrong because by the end of the year, they were starting to figure it out, I think. And they did get a podium or two, not a first place, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, third in the championship, so it's not tragic.
no,
Right.
no, it is not. And I honestly, I went into last year thinking 8th.
Yeah.
So
I knew Mercedes was going to do well. I said Ferrari's going to be feast or famine. I think that was accurate. I said Aston was going to be the best of the midfield, and they were until they weren't. So I'll call that a half.
Yes.
yes,
Pretty
but in every race, Alonso was the giant wrench. Oh, you guys think this is going to work out the way you think? And yep, maybe I'm going to throw this in the works. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. I'm old. I'm crazy.
All the above.
All right. I was really wrong. Surprise of the season. I said Alpha. No.
No.
Really
Nope.
wrong.
Yep,
So-
yep.
No.
Mental, how about you?
Yeah, I was really wrong. I said Haas was
Just
going to
about as
outperform
wrong.
expectations, and
Yeah.
the only thing that they did that no one expected was fire their most charismatic team member. So
Right.
I thought the surprise was going to be McLaren was just above Haas and Williams, and they were for a little while. The beginning of the year they were bad,
Yeah, that's true.
and then they turned it around.
Yeah.
So
Both of
we'll
them
call
did.
that half.
Yep.
mhm.
All right. Will Merck have a comeback?
Nope. And we should just record this and play it again for our predictions for 2024.
I
No.
I think I was pretty close. I said they're going to close the gap but not dominate, and Lewis will show the difference when it matters, and he did.
I don't know. Russell
Good
did
point.
pretty well. There is plenty more podiums than
Yeah, but
Or
when it mattered,
closer.
he didn't. Like when he needed to win that Singapore Grand Prix, he crashed, for example. So
Yeah.
the under pressure times, Lewis pull through. I think a little bit
Okay.
more than George. Still, that's the maturity and the experience coming through.
Mhm.
All
I
right.
have no idea why I didn't answer this question, but that's okay. I didn't
What do we
answer.
think about the rookies? Which last year was Piastri, Logan, and DeVries. How'd that go?
I said I was
yeah.
excited to have a U.S. rep. It won't help in Williams is correct. And Nick is going to do the best of the three. We all said this, and he
Yeah.
literally got kicked out mid-season. So we
Yep.
were really
We are all
wrong.
very wrong on that one. Oh
Oh.
well. Oh well.
Well,
Who's
but you had one correct prediction right in the middle of it.
I did. I said Sargent will be a back marker. And he
That's about
was.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And
And
it's
it's-
funny because we said Piastri was going to flop, and he did not. He actually
Nope.
did fairly well, so
Um,
that was surprising.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
still convinced that Sargent is not getting a fair shake, and it sucks. I think he's gonna, after he leaves Formula One, he'll go to another
Why?
series and do well.
Why do you think that?
I,
It's
Well, he
not the
skipped
car.
F3, so I don't think he's had enough time in the oven.
Mm,
exactly.
Okay.
He's barely is he drinking
It's
age
him.
now?
I
You
don't know.
No, yeah, I mean, and everyone's like, oh, that kid sucks. Yeah, but he's racing in Formula One, and even if you're the slowest guy in Formula One, he's faster than you. So
He's
Yeah.
23, so he
he's
can
23.
drink.
All right, he's 23.
Yes.
All right.
He
So
looks
that
like
means in
he's
Florida, he's
18,
only been
but-
drinking for like 10 years. So, all right. Yeah.
in paper bag. Who is under the most pressure?
I say this and I stood by this, but it was Max, because that's what everyone was going for. And he's got the biggest target on his back. What I did not predict is, I'm going to say how well he handled having the biggest target on his back, in the sense that he was no more whiny than he normally is. So
Agreed.
I don't think the pressure changed him. I think he was still the same kind of, whiny, entitled,
Yep.
EV.
Yeah.
champion that he is.
Mhm.
So
I said Alonso because this is his last chance to be competitive after how many bad career moves he's done, and I think he did all right with the pressure. Really,
Yeah,
he
he
was.
did.
He was. You could tell he was extremely excited when he was doing well. Like
Mhm.
he thought that was great. But his
absolutely,
I
yeah.
really
The battle
enjoyed
between him
watching-
and Checo in Brazil. Oh my
Yes.
God, that was just great.
I enjoyed watching with his experience and whatnot. He is doing the strategy of the race while driving at full speed, and it's what fun to watch him like take weird lines and do things just to like make this car the best it can be in this for strategy reasons, and even talking to his engineer about things that they should be doing. If I'm driving that fast, I'm just surviving at that point. So let alone doing strategy.
Charles, where are my car keys? Question.
Right. Yes. Exactly.
I said Sonoda, he better perform or won't be long. I think that's probably still true. I think he stepped up. He did okay. There was plenty of times where he was in above top 10. And yeah, but I think he needed to. So I still think that was still appropriate.
I would also, Sonoda has impressed me with his PR game. He is
In the last year.
He has really leaned into being the fun guy, the happy guy. And then, and then by the time Ricardo got on the team with him, so now you got, they're the guys having fun. They know they're not going to be competitive, but they can still make the team look good by, not throwing hissy fits, by doing all the PR appearances,
Yeah,
by
no
racing
hissy
monster
fits.
trucks with Verstappen and all that kind of stuff. And Yuki has really gotten into that game pretty well.
And I also added on Stroll is right behind, and I still think that's appropriate. No,
I
talk
don't
about
think he
hit.
has any pressure at all. I don't. He is not trying to find a seat next year. He's not worrying about a contract negotiation. He doesn't give a crap.
Okay.
He's got to ride as long as he wants to. Yeah, he sucks.
Okay.
He
can
also
bully
has
his
one of the best
trainer and-
mentors
Yeah, that's what I was going to
as
say.
a teammate. He's got one of the best, because Alonso swore up and down he wasn't there to teach him, but clearly he has, because
He must have missed that whole don't hit your teammates, and then don't try to screw off all of the PR people when you are by law of needing to talk to those people about that. Yes.
yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
should have learned that.
Oh well.
fine.
All right.
Bold prediction.
So I said that Checo was going to tell people to pound sand, and no,
I don't think that happened.
not only did he not, there was a great interview. It aired in Australian television, and it was someone interviewing Checo, and he says, it's clear that Danny Ricciardo is sniffing around your seat. Are you tempted to say, hey, back off, man? And the classiest answer ever. And he says, no, he's one of my friends. Why wouldn't you want to drive for Red Bull? It's the fastest car. I think everyone wants my seat. I'm not offended if anyone wants my job, and I'm not going to get mad at my friend. And I'm just, man, you want to talk about a guy that's got no pressure, and he knows that the minute he loses or walks away from his seat, he's stepping right into the commentator's booth. He has got his next
Checo,
career.
you think?
Yeah. Oh,
Really?
Checo will be in the announcer's booth before the end of the season. He's just too nice. Everyone likes him.
Oh.
He's,
Interesting.
he's got the
Well,
Antonio
certainly
Banderas
on the
accent.
Spanish broadcast, he absolutely will
Oh,
be.
sure. Yes.
Absolutely. But even when he's given interviews in English, he doesn't talk trash.
Mm.
Not well, this last year he didn't talk trash. He got a little lippy with Max previous about, how come we're you're doing this when you told me you'd let me buy. But yeah, I think Checo's already thinking about post F1.
Okay.
As he should. Good for him.
Well, that was your bold prediction from last year, and you've given your bold prediction.
No. I've given my analysis of how he was this year.
I know.
We
I was
haven't
just-
even moved into bold predictions.
I
yet.
know. I know. Okay. Chris.
All right. Last year, bold prediction was Alonso gets a podium. Check. Got that.
Several times. Yep.
Yeah. I said old guys at Haas outperform most of the new young guys. Nope.
You are so wrong.
Yeah.
And this was a joke of Canadian Grand Prix would be the best race of the year because we were going to be there. So in theory, I think it was the best race of the year because we were there from that perspective. But
We had a darn good time.
we did.
I think there are many ways that it was the best. The lack of parking and walking and taking the train was the best. I think that's what made it the best because of the horror stories of people trying to get out of parking lots for hours and hours. I may be yours because you walked from wherever your house was, but those kind of things I am solidly on. This is a great idea to not have to drive anywhere.
Well, and for those, we're playing a little bit of insider baseball, but our good
Okay,
friend
fine.
our good friend Pat Lasmat went to the Belgian Grand Prix, and they sat in traffic to leave longer than they did watching the race. And it was just, the French and their known ability to organize is what he said.
Signs going the wrong way. And then I think they said 3 to 4 hours is what I recall to get out of parking lots.
And I, having not experienced that, I wholeheartedly agree because I was home within 30 minutes of us wanting to leave Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And then Monaco wasn't that bad either. Of course, the temptation at Monaco is, well, let's just go find a bar.
Pretty much.
That's also a bit of a temptation in Las Vegas.
So my bold prediction, Sainz wins a race. I got one right.
And it cost him his job. The only non-Red Bull driver to get a first place.
What a bold prediction.
Him.
I don't even know where I came up with that, but okay. That's great.
Yes. And what a shame. It was. He was doing well here until, he wasn't. When I say here, Las Vegas.
So the DPW ruined that for him. Okay. All right. So now we're to 2024. What are our thoughts on this coming year? So we got some similar stuff. So, but we can't just do a top pick because that doesn't make any sense because
we all know it's going to be Max again.
Right. So
that's
pick
boring.
That's not Max. Chrissy.
I said Alonso. I mean, we all said Checo is what we're going to say here. So I was thinking the Checo is going to have do pretty well right behind him. I'm putting my money on Alonso, and I think I might regret it, but I'm going to do it.
I've got Checo in here, and
I wrote that in for you because I knew what your answer was going to be.
Well,
so that made it easy.
Yeah, exactly. But actually, I'm with Chrissy. He spent last year taking a third-tier car and consistently running as a second-tier team. I mean, he was always threatening for the lead. He was always the wild card. And I think that Aston paid attention, because if you notice, Stroll got consistently faster. And I think that he has now taken that vehicle, and they are again going to be, between his strategy, his intelligence, and his ability to communicate and talk to the engineers about what they can do and what tricks they can pull. I think Aston Martin is going to be an even bigger threat than they were last year. I think you are going to routinely see a green car poking around the top 3 spots.
I said Checo plus Lando. I think
Yeah.
McLaren showed so much promise at the end of last year. If they can do anything even remotely like that, great. Lando has shown a lot of incredible skill as a driver. He is always up in the pointy end of the field at the end of the year. Let's see how he does.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oof.
All right. Surprise of the season. I am the only person to fill this out. I am going to go with Albon. Oh man, hold on. I went with, wrote Williams, but then I forgot who else is on Williams. I'm going Albon and Piastri. I know I'm picking 2. That's not really legal, but that's what I'm doing.
Yes. Surprise of the season. Man, that's a hard one. I would not be surprised to see Sainz win another one, because his and we're leaning into other stuff. His give a fuck is down low. The car's shown that he can do it, and he might just hang it out there on the edge. And that leans into questions that are down here, the same questions about being under pressure. And it depends on how he responds to it, but he might be out there going, you know what? It's my last year driving for Ferrari. Watch this. I think he's going to take chances he would not normally take. I think he's going to run the car closer to the ragged edge, because who cares if he wads it up? He's already fired.
Yep. All right, my surprise of the year. I think Alpine just loses it. Like, they have just been crumbling. They've got all kinds of new management stuff going on. I think they're just gonna lose the form that they had 2 years ago that I thought was gonna get better last year. And now I think they're gonna fall. Which, from a factory team, fully, that they should have all their act together. They've got 2 experienced drivers who know how to do well. I just think they're not gonna keep it together.
Mm-hmm. Now that brings us.
You guys need to write your answers. So
no,
don't
that's
forget
right. Crap. We have to do this again. So yes. All right. Because we have to copy and paste this in 12 months. So we were going to talk about pressure.
Pressure. There's a lot of
Pressure
people
is
under
real.
pressure.
Yeah. What's Formula One?
Right.
It's all pressure.
Right.
It is. I'm going to say the person under pressure, and this is a bit of a divergence because I know we're supposed to be talking about drivers, is actually Christian Horner. And I say this because, provided he has a job when this internal review is done, if this season doesn't go perfectly, it's going to be his fault, because he's got the top car. He's got the top driver. He's got the best of everything. So he should absolutely dominate again. And if he does not, it's going to be his fault.
He's got Adrian Newey. That's worth a lot right there.
Mm-hmm.
He also has ginger spice, which is worth a lot right there.
True. And I really hope it doesn't all fall apart for him just because of some dick pics. Because if that's the reason for this whole thing, then what an idiot.
Seriously, yes. Oh God, at least maybe like butthole pics or something. I mean,
Oh
be
no!
original. I mean, God,
Oh no!
yes. Just
Oh,
no one likes dick pics. All right, God.
Oh gosh.
All right. So, pressure. I think the person under the most pressure this year is Carlos Sainz.
Mm-hmm.
He is out of a job. Carlos is open to work right now.
He has a little thing around
Right?
his LinkedIn profile.
Yeah,
He should totally do that. That would be like a
I
great.
think I've seen that.
That would be a
Yep.
great LinkedIn actually tie-in. He should totally do that.
Yep. He's open to work. But he's coming out of a top 3 team. He's got to perform to get one of the good seats. like there might be in a certain silver and black car, as opposed to joining, whatever Sauber is going to be calling themselves next year, or who knows what Haas is going to be doing. Like, it'd be a shame for him to end up there, coming out of a Grand Prix winner in a Ferrari, but he's got to perform this year to make it work.
Mhm.
I can't believe no one has made that. I'm just Googled it. Nobody made that. Come
Well,
on.
guess what's going up for the image for this episode? Oh yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, I was thinking, so if you can't get kicked out of F1, or I guess maybe you can be suggested that you should find a new hobby.
Andretti will happily buy them. That's
True. Yeah, no, you're right. Right. So if you Haas, I just feel like with all the changes at the top, drivers in the back, they try and then they do really well and then they crash or they break. Like I feel like Haas is struggling, and it's just the back markers, and probably could stick Alpha in the same. Are there streak? What
yeah,
are they?
Stakes, Sauber, or Stake F1 by Sauber or something,
Well,
because in some
goodness,
countries
whatever
they
they
can't
are.
be called Stake because Stake is a gambling company, and so they have to
Oh,
go by Sauber.
yeah.
It's the second most stupid new name of the year, behind Visa Crash App RB, whatever the hell.
Yeah, right. I just feel like some of these back markers are just, if you continue to be terrible, like the gap between the good and the bad is just so stark that somebody should be finding people a new hobby. So, yes.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Best of the rest.
Okay, so and we should define this. So this
Yes.
is not Red Bull, not Mercedes, not Ferrari. And
Yep.
I'm doubling down on my Aston. I think
Okay.
Aston is in the position right now because now they have an entire season of knowing what that car can do by the hands of someone who knows how to do it. They know now what this car is capable of. They know what to change. They've got some great strategy inputs. And I think, they've shown the ability to work well with Alonso and to do good. And unless they just completely foul it all up. And let's be honest, that's the job of Ferrari. So, yeah.
Okay. I'm with you on Aston, but also McLaren. It's going to be a tough choice between the two. Aston is really good at copying other people's ideas for the year, but then they don't develop it. Where McLaren is better at developing. So I think Aston is going to come out of the gate strong with a copy of the Red Bull. Like, remember a few years, Racing Point was basically a pink Mercedes. I think Aston this year is going to be a green Red Bull. But McLaren have proven that they can develop a car based on what they did last year. And their drivers are both good quality drivers who've proven themselves. So I think it's going to start off with Aston being good, and later on McLaren is going to pick it up.
I'm going with McLaren.
All right.
They really showed up. I think they're gonna continue.
All
right. So
right.
the other side of the coin, who's gonna do terribly this week? Who's gonna disappoint for the year? If McLaren and Aston Martin are doing well, someone's got to take the bottom spots. Who's it gonna be? Mental.
It's totally going to be Ferrari.
No, it's not. It's not.
It is.
Nope.
What is their motivation? Their number one driver is already being demoted to number two, and their only race winning driver is fired. Who cares?
So they're gonna try. These guys
I think they're gonna try.
You don't get to that point by not being competitive and by nature. You
Didn't say
can't.
they were, they're going to be competitive by nature, but when they had all of the promise, I mean, how many memes did we see last year about their pit stop strategies? And, the infamous Lamino joke about when I die, I want Ferrari's F1 team to be my pallbearer so they can let me down one more time.
True.
The other one on that now is Williams
Oh.
is so consistently out there that no one even notices. Like, people make jokes about, Alpha and the other, teams, but Williams doesn't even get jokes about how bad they are.
No, Albon is not bad.
I didn't say Albon, Williams.
But he drives for William.
Yeah, but their cars suck.
Well, so Albon's just good. You can't be good and have a car that is. If
Oh,
you're
you
can
can
outperform your
absolutely be
car.
good and have a car that sucks.
yes,
Yeah.
but then Williams doesn't suck if Albon doesn't suck.
Well, the car and the team, the rest of them could be. Let Mental have his thing.
Fine, fine. Okay.
I think Haas is going to continue to be completely terrible. They've got some new leadership, but it's going to take a while to change the culture the way they might need to do to move forward. So I think they're going to be bad. I also
Yep,
think
I like it.
Danny Rick, as much as everyone loves the guy, he's going to have some flashes of brilliance, but he's not going to be back consistently. I just can't see it. I
No,
think
and he
being
just
a McLaren broke him. Well, for whatever reason.
yeah, because he quit being Danny. He started
Mhm.
to try to be Mr. Serious Racer guy, and he should have never done that.
But you also need to do that to an extent, though. I mean, I agree that I think that he didn't do well, but I don't know. I
I
think
mean,
you have to be serious. You have to.
you have to be serious,
It's a
but
job.
he changed his personality on
Mm,
and off the track, and he stopped, and then here he is
pressure
now.
got too much.
I think he wanted to be. I think he wanted to be world champion. Too bad.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
And he should have stayed where he was to
Yeah.
have the
Totally.
best
Yeah.
chance at it. But oh well.
So
Okay. Good. Chrissy, what do you think?
Oh, you're gonna take. Oh, okay. I
You can
think
do
you
that.
agree. Alpine is going to just be awful. And I just added steak. I like steak.
Yes.
I smelled it the meat way. I think I think you should leave it that way.
uh,
That way I can remember what it is. So Alpine is awful. I think they're gonna have baguette fights because they almost had baguette fights last year, and they're gonna have baguette fights again this year. And then they try to race each other because Ocon just wants to hit everybody, and I don't like either of them. So and then I think steak. I am a Bottas fan. I'm a Bottas fan so much that I bought myself the Bottas calendar, which is actually a terrible calendar. It's just a big picture of naked Valtteri. I am a
right.
huge Valtteri
See,
fan.
that's a guy that has kept his sense of humor.
Agreed. And I think he's a humble person. I think he was a good driver when he was with Mercedes. And I just think that team is just so sad. I
And
just
he
think
won't let go of that mullet.
I know. I don't know why. I don't. It's like that's him now. Like I don't think that's a show or I don't know. I don't get it. I just want to be friends with him. And I think they're just gonna continue to be terrible. So steak with an EA cake.
Hey, so dude, we could totally be your hype team. We will follow you to race, and just be like literally MMA people that just walk around and like hold up your trophies behind you and be like, oh no, you didn't. Oh, you're gonna get the bot ass. We're gonna hang out with you. Give us a call. Contacts in our show
Oh,
notes.
I'll be friends with Tiffany when she's standing in the back of the box. That'll be fine.
Totes. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
And then like when they don't do well, and Verstappen and people come by, we will totally talk smack about him, be like, oh yeah, but at least his dad loves him. Boom, that just happened. So yeah.
Oh goodness.
Sounds
Yes.
great.
It does sound great. Okay.
Hot take / bold prediction. I know this isn't going to happen, but I want it to happen. So as this seats all start shifting around, because you've still got an unfilled Mercedes seat right now, and that is still a top tier team. All right. So people start, and moving around. I think Alonso's going to end up at Mercedes. And then Russell's going to be like, I will not be number 2 to that guy. So he's going to leave and go to Aston. And then, Horner doesn't get fired, but he makes another dumb racist comment like he did to Checo about how after every race he ends up with another kid. or something like that, like he did this year. And Checo finally says, screw you, I'm out. And then Checo ends up the number 2 guy at Mercedes.
I mean, it's the bold prediction section, so
Wow,
you can say
right?
whatever you want, and it's okay. We
I
didn't ask
will-
for reasonable, sensible predictions.
Okay,
We said
You
bold
have a
predictions.
Bold prediction, reasonable, sensible, bold prediction. The pressure is on F1 and it is coming from everywhere, not just America. The Andretti's will have a 2025 team.
I like this prediction.
Yeah. Either they're going to have
Yeah.
to, they'll get in there with, conventional as a new team, or they're going to end up buying one of these failing teams.
Yep.
But there
I think
is
the latter.
too much there to keep
Yeah.
ignoring these. And now you've got former F1 champions that are straight out calling F1 on their bullshit to not let
Yep.
the Andretti's in.
They have
So.
a better chance of buying Haas than they do getting in the door.
Agreed.
If it were Penske, I would say they might be able to get in the door because Penske has a longer track record of having their shit together and doing well in whatever they do. But anyway,
I'm going to take umbrage with that one because I feel like the Andretti's are truly a global brand and have been for a very long time, and they have done quite well in Indy and as team owners.
okay, let's see. Bold
We'll see.
predictions.
Bold
Mine is going to be this again. Bold prediction: Logan Sargent gets his act together and starts running fairly even with Alex Albon. I'm hoping an extra year in the seat is enough.
I want
and help
that to
him
be
get them
true.
there.
I really
Yeah,
do. I want
do-
it to be true.
I think a lot of people do, because as a if they talk about Florida one more time, I think I might just throw something at the computer or at the screen. But I think there's just as the person from the United States, I think that they're trying to grow it, and I think they want to give him a chance just so he can continue to bring people. I mean, I think there's a lot of people that are already from the United States interested in F1, but I think that's helpful, and I think that F1 thinks that's helpful.
Well, I don't see many interviews with him, but he doesn't seem like a jerk. He seems like he really like a good.
No one
humble
wants
kid.
to talk to him because he's in the back.
That's true. And maybe we just haven't dug deep enough in the media, but I don't see him blaming anyone. I don't see him playing
agreed.
Whatever,
No.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, mine is Russell, Sainz, and Alonso get podiums.
I mean, they all did last year.
Yeah. Is that how?
Oh, no,
bold
I'm sorry. No. Wins. I'm going wins.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry. This is a bold prediction. So I think there are possibilities of when Max, not because he doesn't do well, there are people have led races, but that doesn't mean that Max hasn't had seasons where he's crashed a lot. He drives on top of Hamilton and they get beached and then they're out. There are other people that can win these races, especially if Max isn't racing. So I think the chances could be out there, and that people will there might be some other people that get some wins, not because they're not trying harder. It's because Max isn't racing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
As much as I don't like him at the Las Vegas race, my entire theory about Max is really good if he starts in the front. And then honestly, even in Australia too, Max has shown you drop him anywhere and he's going to win. Yeah.
At least this year we do have some new cars. Let's see if anybody can make any headway with that, even though it's going to be tough because they have a head start. But
yeah,
hopefully.
yeah. Well, and he just has the ability to drive a car that probably even in the field of F1, most people could not drive because they just, it's so unstable, but he's the guy that's good enough to make it work, which I hate. I wish he wasn't so good.
Well, it's made for a fairly uninteresting couple seasons.
I disagree. I think it's very interesting if you ignore Max.
Oh, absolutely.
Agreed.
Yes. And that is actually a popular take that this is a wonderful F1 season. If you just take the first place guy out of the equation completely, it's been fun to watch. And yes, I do as well. I think it's probably, it's a, how you approach it and your attitude on that one.
Because you've had a lot of shuffling. We've had a lot of cars start good, get bad, and vice versa. So yeah, I agree. but it'd be nice to see some more people, different people on podiums and wins, I think. So yeah, we're going bold prediction. Let's give it.
Yeah, I'm tired
Do
of
it.
hearing the Dutch national anthem.
Oh, so much. I think I was dancing when the where is he from?
Spanish.
Spanish, thank you. Yes, that was great. So nice to hear another song. I usually turn it off.
The exercise we're doing right now, the Dutch are here. And aside from being able to walk around making the joke of there's only two things I can't stand, people who are intolerant of other people's cultures and the Dutch, I begged them to like hang up signs of every Formula One, driver except for Max, to have them ask the question, where's Max? Where's Max? But
Yep.
Oh my.
Oh,
Well, the season starts soon.
it does. It
Does.
starts next month in 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. Yeah, March 2nd is the first race. I think
So,
it's an overnight race. I would look it up, but I can't.
yeah, because
I think it's at night in Bahrain.
Well, it's in Bahrain,
Exactly.
so
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
going to be wrong
Stupid.
time for us.
Yeah.
I meant that overnight for us. I meant.
Well, they do the Bahrain races at night in Bahrain because it's dark, and then that's might be actually okay for us. It might be daylight for us. I don't know. We'll find
Yes,
out.
it typically
Whatever.
turns into a normal time on this one. And if you're listening to this and you're interested in doing a live watch party, let us know. We could probably finagle something. We'll see how it goes.
Depends on actually what hour it is, because
yes,
some of us might be asleep.
some of us might be asleep. Some of us might go up to the Circa. It'll be just fine. But if it's something you're interested in, post down here in the doodly doo or in the comments or email, I guess, at any of the number of things that Chris is going to list off here in a second. And what's another way that our listeners could be involved with Formula One and Everyone Racers?
Oh my gosh. Join our fantasy league. Fantasy GP is how we play. And you can sign up on the code. So when you get there, it will say join the league and you need a league code. Our league code is get a piece of pen, paper, phone, notes, whatever, 74259541. That is our code. It'll be in the notes. Join us. We had a pretty good number of people play with us last year. The fun thing of why we like this platform is that you can go in and every week you can make picks of who you think is going to win. There's the top three, so who's going to be on the podium. You pick drivers, you get points for those drivers and how they do in quali and in the race. And there's usually so you pick fastest lap and I'm missing one.
Number of safety cars.
Safety cars.
Yeah,
Usually,
and
then
always
there's a question.
rotating, where's Hulkenberg going to finish kind of a deal. We will have a video walking everyone through. It'll be linked in the show notes that will show you exactly where to go, how to log up, and that number. And that instructions will be available. Please come and join us. We still need to find out who won last year so we can give them their prize, but
we didn't know who it was.
Yeah, that's fine.
I have a note. The race, the Bahrain race, is actually at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Oh yeah, so that's 7 a.m. here. So if you are interested, if you're interested in a watch party, let us know. We'll probably all, if you're not interested in a watch party, we're all going to be in our Slack channel talking smack anyway. So it's going to be
quali. Oh, I'm sorry. Quali's quality. Oh, all good. Yes. So 10 a.m. race. That's when it is. And then there's some testing becoming between now and then.
Fantastic. Any idea what we're talking about next week?
No. I'm sure we will come up with something great. Inspirational, awesome. Even.
Adequate.
No, inspirational. Or something. Yep.
We can be adequate. I know we can.
Your
delusions of adequacy. I'm with Chrissy. Shoot
it.
for the stars. We're going to do something weird.
Weird. I'd say weird. Amazing.
So it will either be amazing, adequate, weird, probably all three.
Ooh,
Wow. That's a lot.
expectations are inappropriate or
So
appropriate,
So I
inappropriate.
guess we've got no just the tip. No, none of that.
I
Oh,
Like,
ugh.
you just skip right over that.
I
See,
uh,
if
we
that was
did. I
intentional.
wasn't
I
sure. I
totally
wasn't sure if
did.
it was intentional either. But since we
What's your safety topic this week, Chrissy?
So my safety topic this week is the issue of disobeying signs and barriers.
Oh,
So we've had some issues recently where people are going around barriers. They are like going through caution tape, multi-layers of caution tapes, and says like this entrance is closed right now. Sorry for the inconvenience. Go around the other way. And people are literally walking through caution tape. And it's gotten to the point where somebody could get hurt, right? So this is our safety topic, and it's kind of frustrating because you're trying to stop people putting up signs, and people are still doing it. So I used the safety topic and started out with trying to be somewhat impactful of seeing a sign when a road is closed because the water is, because it's rained a lot and the road is all washed out. And then trying to go through and just say, well, screw it, I'm just going to go through anyway. And either you see the water, or you don't see the water, and then you end up where, with what. The next aspect that I've been focused on was we have somebody who works in our warehouse, and they were using a forklift. They put really good barriers up, the big metal kind that stretch all the way across a hallway. And people continue to walk through this area. And so my forklift, the person who is using the forklift worked there a really long time, very well trained, very knowledgeable, very conscientious of the people that she's working around, is continued to be concerned about her working in a place that she puts a barrier up, but not sure if people are going to come through that barrier. If she's coming around a corner with a full load on a forklift, all of a sudden somebody's going to be inside the barrier. And not only is somebody going to get hurt, but she's very concerned that she's going to hurt somebody. So, and I think that's where a lot of people don't realize and don't think about, you think about you getting hurt, but you're not really thinking about the person that has caused that injury, where they've done their due diligence to try to make sure that other people aren't getting hurt. So really, if you see barriers, and I don't think this is truly applicable to you guys, but in manufacturing, when I've got a bunch of people that don't care on their phones, things like that, they're just not watching where they're going, or they're literally just walking through a place where it says, well, there's caution tape up here, but everything looks okay, so I'm just going to walk under it. And that's not been okay. So that's my safety topic. Not as
I think
applicable
you
to
just
you
need to
guys.
make your warning signs more scary. Like not just caution tape. Caution. Proceeding in this room, you will be attacked by bees.
And
Yeah.
it's so funny because people at work, they always joke. They're like, I watched this funny safety video, or I saw this funny meme, and I was like, literally all of my friends send me this stuff all the time. All right, there's your safety topic. Tell your friends.
Good. Yep. Hey, thanks for downloading us, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this week's edition of Everyone Racers. Hope you can join us in the world of driving, racing, building, and spectating, because everyone can be a racer, even you. If you enjoyed this podcast, subscribe. It's free. Go to iTunes. Give us that 5-star rating. Even if you hated us, tell us why. Anyway, questions, show ideas, F1 predictions, safety videos. Drop us a comment on any of the social media kind of things. We're on Facebook, Everyone Racers. Gmail is everyone.racers@gmail.com. Text mental pictures of your junk, especially late at night, 484-243-0455. Yeah, that's about it. Thanks again, everyone. Until next week, keep the sponsor logoed side up, unless you don't have one of those, and just don't show anybody the arrow work on your floor. Thanks.